Howdy guys, Hydron Rocket A3 here. Welcome back to another video, a new video that's been a long time coming. So, Season 5 of Call of Duty Vanguard has been announced, and it looks like they've basically given up on this game, and I can't say, well, I should say the same myself, because I don't like Vanguard. I don't think many people really liked it that much, to be honest. I think it maybe did worse than Infinite Warfare. I'm not too sure, but Vanguard it's not a good Call of Duty. It has a lack of identity to start things off, but like I said, well, we'll start around talking about the campaign, and just to point out, I'm only showing multiplayer footage because I can't be bothered to record campaign nor zombie footage, though granted the campaign's meh, but zombies I just despise. So let's get into it. So, starting off, the campaign. It was okay. I enjoyed it for what it was. The story was kind of hard to follow because it's about the backstories of the Vanguard team. So you got Arthur Kingsley, Polina Petrova, Lucas Riggs, and Wade Jackson. I think that's their names. Basically, the campaign is summed up like this. You basically play 2 to 3 missions of these characters, basically explaining how they became who they are, and except for the starter mission. I think out of all the missions to play, I think the starting mission was the most interesting one to play because it's on the back of a moving train, and you're playing as none of the Vanguard members that you're familiar with. You're playing as just a random, like, silent protagonist, Novak, who unfortunately gets killed off at the end of that mission. The basic plot for that mission that they were doing was they're trying to find something about what was it called? It was some project that they were after. I forgot what it was, but they're basically trying to find these plans that the should I say it? I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. I don't think I am. That the Germans have to stop the Allies. Phoenix, that's what it's called. It's Project Phoenix. That's what they were after. But they get captured, and Novak gets killed. So then we start playing as Arthur Kingsley, and we go through his missions where he was sort of part of D-Day, except he wasn't. The first mission you play is sort of stealthy-like, and I like the way it starts. Like, you don't have any guns, you gotta find and scavenge resources to get back to your team, but once you get back to your team, it's a pretty bog-standard mission, though granted, each character has abilities for one another. So Kingsley's ability was that he could command people to attack or defend certain objectives, so that was pretty neat, but the mission was still pretty linear, and there was also just a bit of shock value added to it when one of Kingsley's friends gets blasted in the head, which, not gonna lie, was very, very brutal. But it seemed a bit contrived, if that makes any sense. So Kingsley's missions were alright, and then after that we got to play, well, I got to play as Polina Petrova. And the first mission you play as her, she witnesses the events of the Germans invading Stalingrad. Once again, it's got an interesting start to it. It's got a good start to it. However, there are a lot of historical inconsistencies in the mission, but nonetheless, it was a good start. The mission, if I recall, the Germans invade Stalingrad. You run back to your father's room, who was home. You get knocked unconscious, you wake up, it's late at the night, and you sneakily killing Germans until that goes all cahoots up, and unfortunately Polina's dad is killed in the crossfire in this mission, and one detail about Polina is that she gets this sniper rifle, and you cannot swap it out because it belonged to her father, so she keeps that on her at all times. And basically, the story goes that Stalingrad's been invaded, you're basically fighting to get Stalingrad back. You're fighting back for the control of Stalingrad. I think it's been done better in the past, especially with World at War's missions where you played as Dmitry Petrenko and those final missions. That wasn't Stalingrad though, was it? No, it wasn't. Or that starter mission when you first meet Reznov. That was like a really, really good mission. But yeah, it's still, nonetheless, it's not too bad playing as Polena, though unfortunately it does seem like they copy-paste quite a few things. Like I said, it's got the, you're trying to take back Stalingrad, which has been done before countless times, and done better in other Call of Duties. And there's also, I liked one part of the mission they did where it's a hotel and you got multiple floors to clear out, and you also got to deal with these heavily armored guys, which these heavily armored guys in the campaign make no bloody sense. And they are kind of a pain to fight. But in the end of the mission, you basically play The Last of Us, where it was the encounter between Ellie and David. You basically just got to stab the guy multiple times without being seen, because if he sees you, you're dead in one hit. That's pretty much it. But again, those missions for Polena, they weren't too bad either, but it was cut short, and she lost her brother as well. Oh, yeah, shit, I forgot to remember that Polena has a brother. I forgot to mention that she has a brother. So again, not bad. The next few missions we got to play as Wade, and his first mission was you taking part in the Battle of Midway, which at first was interesting because you're flying these, I believe they were Wildcats, or I don't know if those planes were used, I don't know. You're basically in a dogfight with the Germans, or wait, no, it's not the Germans, it's the Japanese. Whoops, the Battle of Midway is the American and the Japanese. You're basically, yeah, in the middle of dogfights with the Japanese, and you're dive bombing some of their carriers and destroying their carriers while dive bombing. However, once again, this type of stuff has been done better. The aerial combat was pretty limited because you can't do barrel rolls, you can't do quick turns or anything like that. You just turn the stick to the right or to the left, and your plane just moves perfectly to the left or right. It's not good. It doesn't control well, and when you lock on, it just physically makes no sense the way you're flying around chasing the planes. But after that mission, you get shot down, Wade is injured, so his friend Mateo tries to find help, but he gets captured, so you stealthily sneak through the forests of, I forgot what the islands were, but you stealthily sneak through these forests to get to Mateo, which you eventually do, and then you meet up with, I can't remember what this team is, but you meet up with, try not to be racist or anything like that, but you meet up with a team that is made up of black soldiers, and one of the soldiers is Lieutenant Howard, which I believe is supposed to be a reference to what was he in World War II? Because I know there was it was Major Howard. I believe this Lieutenant Howard is the brother of Major Howard, because they sound exactly the same, and they also got the surname, and he also, in the mission, mentions that his brother's fighting on the European front, so yeah, that was nice. Unfortunately, he gets killed off, and you get to use a flamethrower and clear out some, not trenches, well, you get to clear out traps that the Japanese was set up. There was also one encounter where you have to deal with a single sniper, and there is a trophy to clear this area without getting shot by him, but sometimes it's just random how he can see you or not see you. And it finishes off with a big battle on an airfield. You steal a Mitsubishi and fly off, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Then we get on to Lucas Riggs, and Lucas Riggs' missions were, they're alright, I guess. I mean, props to it being a Australian, I guess. But I didn't really care much for the missions in Africa, because it was set in Africa, and you take part in the Battle of El Alamein in the final mission, but there is once again too many historical inaccuracies, so that kind of takes you out of the immersion. But yeah, Lucas Riggs, the missions are just okay, and then finally there's the last mission where you play as all four characters at once, but it swaps at certain intervals. So you start off as Kingsley, then you swap to Riggs, or is it Polina? I think you swap to no, you swap to Polina, and then you snipe a few guys, then you swap to Riggs, and you blow up a couple of tanks, and then you swap to Wade, and you're killing out giant building, and then you swap back to Kingsley, and you got to take care of a sniper at the end of a hangar, and so you basically command your team to suppress fire on him, so Arthur can kill him himself, and then you chase down the big bad guy, who I've forgotten his name, and kill him, and then you leave in a German plane, find Project Phoenix, and there's also other projects like Project Ether, which is a project to bring people back from the dead, so basically a reference to zombies. Oh no, the campaign, it was meh. It's been done better in previous Call of Duties, so if you were looking forward to a campaign in Vanguard, don't get your hopes up, and I just don't recommend you play the campaign. It's not worth your time. Next up, multiplayer. It's chaotic. At first, I did enjoy the multiplayer in Vanguard, but as it's gone on, it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Probably because of the items they've added to the shop. Some of them just don't make any sense at all, but into the multiplayer. The game modes, they had your same box standard stuff, but they had one new mode called Patrol, which was basically Hardpoint, but it keeps moving the entire time, and that is pretty chaotic. And it can be a bit irritating at points. The combat pacing option, I actually like that system. I think that's a pretty good system if you want to choose between tactical, assault, which was removed later because nobody used that option that much, and blitz, or you could just have it set to all pacing. And I thought, yeah, that's a good system. I didn't mind that. I thought that was a good system, and if it's going to be in Modern Warfare 2, I'm all for it, because it's a good system. The other game mode they added was Champion Hill. I played it during the alpha, and that's it. I never touched it again. I mean, it was fun for what it was, but the thing that kind of sucks is that after it came out, and as the seasons have gone by for Vanguard, they haven't done anything about it. They haven't touched it at all. There's been no new maps added to it. It's the same 4 tiny maps that you fight on, and it's lame. They could have done more for it. If they weren't going to do anything for that mode, then could they have at least just added gunfight? Because gunfight's pretty popular. Like, people still like gunfight, both in Modern Warfare 2019 and in Black Ops Cold War. And the other thing I got to point out is the time to kill is a bit frantic at certain points. It's probably because I suck at the game, but sometimes I question how I use an assault rifle and it's less accurate than a SMG when I get shot from halfway across the map by an SMG. I still don't get that, and the obvious thing is that there's a lot of SMG dominance in this game. They do the quickest amount of damage, they have the highest amount of fire rate. That sentence made no sense at all. But some guns, yeah, were definitely much more powerful than others, and it was very frustrating to deal with them. Obviously, at the start, when the game first came out, you had to deal with STGs and MP40s, but the STG I've not seen at all, and the MP40 I still see every now and then because it's just that fucking broken. One thing I have been seeing is that one of the DLC weapons they had, the Armagura 43, seems to be a bloody laser and can kill you just like that. But the other thing I've got to say is that they got the gunsmith in this game, which is great and all, but the thing that just doesn't make sense is the attachments that are available for your guns, because all these attachments didn't fucking exist. I know this game was trying to go for like the more like same route as like Black Ops Cold War, Modern Warfare, with its like high level weapons and all these attachments, but it's just, it doesn't feel right when you play a World War II game and you just see, oh, this guy's got a G43 or a Guevara 43 and it's got a full automatic barrel. Huh. That doesn't seem right. Or the fact that you can have burst barrels for certain guns, which again, that doesn't make any sense. Not to mention that some of the guns they have picked probably didn't even exist and weren't even used in combat, like the revolving shotgun. That thing, only about 100 of those were made, as I've been told, and it can be used in the multiplayer, and it's also used in the campaign, because for some reason every second German in the campaign has that shotgun. But yeah, weapons are very strange. I do like some of the weapons they are. The KGM-40, when I first used that thing and just heard the sound of it, I just thought, mwah, that was a beautiful sounding weapon. But the other thing I got to point out about this game is the store. It does not suit World War II, once again. For one thing to point out, as you could probably seen in the previous footage, I was using it's hard to tell, a Blixen H4 SMG with a anime girl that creates a hologram when you do a certain inspect emote and you dance to beatbox music. Because yeah, that existed in World War II. Yeah, the cosmetics that they added to the game, they're just ridiculous. It just makes it hard to take this game seriously. The thing I always keep thinking about is if you're going to make a World War II game, you got to stick to that. If it's World War II, it's World War II. You can't just like tamper with it, because some people, when they see that, you know, people that probably actually did fight in World War II, they'd be like, "The fuck is this shit?" But the other thing too is that there's also got to be people that see those skins be like in Warzone, like, "Oh, I could hide in the dark with this skin," which is still stupid. I still question why people do that. And in the most recent amount of games I've been playing of Vanguard, it seems like footsteps are extremely loud, like back to the launch of Modern Warfare 2019, which I'm okay with, I guess, but the other things that I will say that I'm not the biggest fan of is some of the perks they added to the game. One perk in particular, as you can see in this clip here, is that you get a notification that says, "Hey, there's someone looking directly at you," so you can get a cheap shot and kill them pretty quickly. Well, again, it's probably because I just suck at aiming in this game. But the other perk I have as well that really, really pisses me off, and I really don't want to see in any other Call of Duty, is when this perk you have is that if you shoot near a target and they're behind a wall, it will tag them, and you can see them through the wall, and you can just shoot them. So it's basically like you got your own personal wall hacks. And I don't think that belongs in I don't think that should belong in a twitchy shooter like Call of Duty. It just pisses me off when I see things like that, because, you know, some people, they could actually be cheating, and it's just like, mate, you got wall hacks. It's like, "Oh, no, I'm using the perk that lets you see through walls." It's just like, that's a scapegoat, and I guess they also made it for people to actually deal with wall hackers in this game. But seriously, that's just fucking stupid. I just think that perk, that's got to go. I don't want to see that in the new Call of Duty, and I just don't want to see that in further Call of Duties. I don't even think Black Ops Cold War had that perk. Modern Warfare 2019 didn't have that perk. I mean, it had a snapshot grenade, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. But the perk that lets you just see enemies through walls like that, that's fucking stupid. And I don't want to see it in multiplayer again. Right, next thing I should have got on about is the maps. Most of the maps, they're dreadful. I hate them. The ones I can think of that are the really big ones, they're terrible, especially the map Red Star. I hate that map. It's bad. It's a Piccadilly 2.0. Could be even worse than Piccadilly in my opinion. But some other maps, they were okay. I did like Dust House. It is pretty frantic, but it can be fun sometimes. Decoy's a pretty good one as well. And of course, the only other good maps I can think of are the ones that return from World at War and the one that returns from Modern Warfare 3, which is Dome, Castle, and Radar, which is Dome from Modern Warfare 3, but they had to rename it because they already had a Dome in Vanguard, the one being from World at War. But the rest of the maps, they're kind of shit. Like the one I play on here, Paradise, it's garbage. I don't like it, and also people tend to camp a bit again in corners. People keep complaining about it in Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War. It's here once again in Vanguard, and it's stupid. I'm trying to think of some other maps that I think were good. No, not really. The one map they added to the game, Gondola, that's terrible. You got one area that's completely open, the other area it's enclosed. It's terrible. I just hate it. Played recently the map Sphere. I don't think it's a bad map. It's alright. It's pretty fun. But the vents can be annoying when people camp in them. So yeah, this game was going on about saying we have 20 maps in this game, but sometimes I just feel like that they just quickly put them together. Like, some of them just don't feel like they're well fit for this type of multiplayer. They feel more like maybe smaller maps for like Battlefield. Even though smaller maps for Battlefield are definitely bigger than the large-scale maps in this game. What else is there to talk about the multiplayer? I do like the operator leveling up system. I think that's good. Like, that's not a bad addition. It gives you more incentive to play the game instead of just prestiging. But once you hit level 20, it's like, okay, now what do I do? I did not go for any mastery camos in this game. I could not give two shits about that. I actually am planning to go for the mastery camos in Modern Warfare 2, because I just pray it's good. Like, excuse me, I just pray that it's good, because I enjoy Modern Warfare 2019, so I have no doubt that I'll enjoy Modern Warfare 2 2022. So yeah, multiplayer, it's chaotic, it's not fun for the most part, the matchmaking is still a joke, and yeah, that's multiplayer. So, what's next? Yes, okay, zombies. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. No one liked it when it first came out. The two first maps, Downfang and Terra Maldicta, they're bad. It's basically Outbreak from Black Ops Cold War, but worse. It's just Outbreak at a smaller scale, and like I said again, it's worse. And even when this season, Season 4, they added Shino Numa to the game, a round-based map, I still didn't like it. Because Vanguard's gunplay can be really annoying sometimes. And I've seen the final season map is just Terra Maldicta, but round-based. Come on, Treyarch, that's so fucking lazy. Oh yeah, Treyarch developed the zombies for this game. Not Sledgehammer. But yeah, the one thing that they have added to the game is perks can be bought on levels instead of upgrading them after you finish your like rounds and like earning crystals like they did in Black Ops Cold War. If it was up to me, I would prefer that system over Vanguard's perk system. I didn't like the zombies perk system in this game. It's just annoying, like going to the same perk machine multiple times just to upgrade it. I just want it to be like, okay, so you purchase this perk, it's one and done, go shoot things. It's not good. The Wonder weapons are lackluster. There's only 3 in this game. None of them are new except for maybe one, the Decimator Shield, but it's fucking useless. The others, the Wunderwaffe, I've not used at all, and the other being the Ray Gun, which for some reason wasn't in the game at launch. That is very questionable. Not to mention that Pack-a-Punch, when you Pack-a-Punched your weapons, it didn't have a camo at launch either. So again, very questionable. But zombies, it's not good. Just save yourself the trouble. If Black Ops Cold War is on sale, play that zombies. If you have Black Ops 3 on computer and you want to play maybe some modded zombies or play just Black Ops 3 zombies, Zombie Chronicles, play that. That's a much better zombies experience than Vanguard's. Heck, I can even say play fucking Nuxtheron Totem from World at War. It may be basic, but it's definitely better than the shit that's in Vanguard. But, yeah, that's all I got to say about Vanguard. It's not good. Season 5 looks like it's completely given up on the World War II aesthetic, considering that the operators are Menendez from Black Ops 2, Rourke from Call of Duty Ghosts, Al-Assad from Modern Warfare, or COD 4 Modern Warfare, and Seraph from Black Ops 3 and 4. Not to mention that the weapons that are being added in later season is a F2000 and a Liana 57 rifle, I don't know. And that the EM1's being added to the game. So that's all I got to say about Vanguard. Do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully it'll be the Modern Warfare 2 beta. Until then, see you next time.